Okay, welcome back to DomTalksTech and welcome to a brand new video this week. It's a little bit late to the game, but we're talking all about the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. This is Samsung's massive top of the range flagship phone from 2020. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so like I mentioned before, the Galaxy S20 Ultra is Samsung's top-of-the-range flagship phone from this year, and along with that it does have some really killer specs. I'll display a couple of them on their screen here, and then I'll just talk through the main ones. So Samsung's price in the UK is £1,199, and that goes all the way up to £1,399 for those maximum specifications on the phone. 128GB of storage or 512GB of storage version, obviously slightly more expensive there. It has 12GB of RAM, or you can jump up to 16GB of RAM, which is the top spec there. It has a 108 megapixel camera, which Samsung is claiming is their best camera that they've ever created on a smartphone. It has a 48 megapixel camera, and it also has a 12 megapixel camera, and finally it also has a time of flight camera to give you that really clear depth of field effect as well. Moving on to the front camera there, it is a 40 megapixel camera, which will give you those crystal clear images for all your selfies, etc. And one of the really good features about this phone is that it has a 5000 mAh battery. So it should last you all day, if not a bit longer, into the next day as well. Although there is one thing about this phone which you might not see or might not hear about on other phones. It is very big. It's got a 6.9 inch display, which is one of the biggest smartphones on the market right now, and obviously with that comes with that 5000 mAh battery. But obviously you're going to have to make sure that you're able to carry around quite a big phone, and if you have small hands and stuff, it can be quite hard to use that phone all the time and reach the top part of the phone without having to use two hands to actually operate the phone most of the time. Okay, so with that camera, that is the 108 megapixel camera, at first you might think that Samsung has sort of tried to put so many megapixels in the camera and it's actually taken away from the quality of the camera quality. But that is not the case. Samsung has done a lot of work on this 108 megapixel camera. On the S20 Ultra you can shoot 10 times, which is the hybrid optical zoom. So zoom right into your subject to get those really clear portrait photos. Or there's also a 100 times super resolution zoom, which means that you can zoom in from really far away and get still a crystal clear image, which is really clever, and it's nice that they've done a lot of work in that department. Again, mentioning one of the key back-facing camera features is that it shoots in 8K, which is obviously quite substantial. I mean, most smartphones only just got to 4K video recording, and now Samsung is pushing that and video recording up to 8K, which is really substantial quality, and obviously pushes those boundaries as to what the camera on the S20 Ultra is actually capable of doing. Obviously there's not many displays that actually support that 8K feature. I don't think that even YouTube supports the 8K feature now, so it's something that's kind of future-proofing as opposed to being a feature that's supposed to be quite relevant now. Nonetheless, Samsung has included it, and again, keeps them above and beyond other players on the market too. Moving on to the processor now, the Samsung has included a Snapdragon 865 processor, which is the latest processor in the Snapdragon range from 2020, and also in other regions they've got the Exynos 990, which is Samsung's brand new Exynos processor from 2020 as well, which will most likely be included in the S20 line and also the Note 20 line when that gets released later on in the year. Another really good reason to buy the S20 Ultra or the S20 line in general, is that they all come with super fluid 120 Hz refresh rate screens on them. This has not been done before on a smartphone. The latest was OnePlus from last year, which had a 90 Hz refresh rate. This is up to 120 Hz refresh rate, which makes everything when you go through content on your phone look really, really smooth and fluid. And also, especially when you're playing games, it makes that really, really easy, because you can play games and at a very, very high refresh rate, so you don't get that lagging that you sometimes get with lower end smartphones. Samsung is definitely taking a big jump in 2020 with their S20 Ultra lineup, and it's for those pro players who want the best from their smartphone, who want the best possible features available on the technology market today. Obviously, it does come with a price, quite a big price financially. But nonetheless, Samsung has put all those jam-packed features into the S20 Ultra lineup, which means that you're going to get the best quality smartphone available. And again, it's a really big contender for the rest of the year to go against the next iPhone, the next Google Pixel phone, and the other Huawei phones as well. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, I've enjoyed my breakdown of the S20 Ultra, don't forget to like this video, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you get weekly content of all the latest technology updates. We've obviously got quite a lot less currently because a lot of events have been cancelled because of the coronavirus outbreak. We've got Google's I/O event, which they've just recently cancelled, Facebook's F8 event, along with the other World Mobile Congress, which was also cancelled. So again, we've got a lot less stuff coming in now, but still a load of stuff to talk about. If you do have any questions about the S20 Ultra or any other piece of technology, do feel free to comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I always like reading people's comments and questions, and I'll obviously get back to you as soon as possible with a reply.